Final score: Wrexham 2, Swansea City 3. I'm going to make a sacrifice, I think, to the gods of football. Why will you not let us beat Cardiff or Swansea? I mean, this is insane. We've lost to Swansea. Third time in a row we've lost 3-2 to them. Third time in a row that goals are going in added time and key incidents in added time. We just somehow can't manage to get the results over them. They really feel like they're coming. This Wrexham team is performing so well against Swansea and Cardiff. We just need to get it over the line somehow. This match at the racecourse saw Steve Dale change things around a bit. Dale's setting up of his team for these matches is really good. He kept faith with Lizzie Craven in goal ahead of Del Morgan. Karen Allen, fantastically, the skipper, came back from injury and started in the back three. We played a box midfield with Lily Jones high up on the right. Her flexibility is fantastic. Nat Clark stepped up into midfield. And we brought Pritchard in on the right. And up front we had two. So Suckley, Ava Suckley on the left side of the attacking part of the box midfield, but getting up a lot to support Iddington in attack. Abby Iddington giving her first start for Wrexham, Rosie Hughes on the bench. And it's got to be said, we did not start that well. Which again is unusual in these big ties. Well, we started, initially we were doing all right. We're getting at them. Our front two in the box midfield would join Iddington and block passing channels, and that gave Swansea problems, and they were losing the ball often quite easily because they were not able to really pass out properly from the back, and we were forcing them into hopeful passes forwards. But they started to work it out. They started to find space, and in the 10th minute they took the lead. Pinder sweeping in a really good cross from the right, and Stacey John Davis with a lovely glancing header. She got goal side of Sharp, flicked it beyond Craven, who had no chance, and we were behind, and it should have been 2-0 almost immediately afterwards. Finch doing really well down the left-hand side, sweeping in a first-time cross. Pinder on their own in the box. Got good contact. Superb save by Craven, whose body was going one way, but she stuck her foot out and got a strong foot on it and knocked her away from goal. Excellent save. At that point in the game, you sort of felt like this could get... If that had gone in, this could have got very, very messy for us. But as it is, we roused ourselves and really started to click. Lily Jones on the right side going forwards in the box was terrific, and we were finding that you could play the ball in either side of their back three. It was a back four, but their full backs were very progressive, and they were leaving gaps, and Wrexham worked that out, and we made a lot of opportunities, or crossing opportunities as well, from just playing those early balls. Lily Jones set the tone, playing a good ball. Iddington made a good run down the right channel. She had nobody keeping up with her, though, so she had to have a go, and she struck it well across the keeper from the edge of the area. Good hands to cling on to it. Then there was a scary moment at the other end as Karen Allen under-hit a back pass. Craven just able to beat Stacey John Davis to it. From my angle, I didn't think she was. Stacey John Davis is as quick as anybody in the Adran Premier, and she was flying after it. And to me, she looked the favourite, but Craven fully committed and got it clear. So Wrexham were working hard to get back into the game. We, I think, deliberately had picked a very solid midfield quartet in a box to make it difficult for Swansea to come through us. You know, Clark and Fuller were holding, and obviously they play centre back often for us, and we looked to have good structure, and we started to get back into it. And then in the 35th minute, got the breakthrough. Great work by Iddington to receive the ball back to goal about 35 yards out and spin beyond her marker and play a great ball to Suckley. One-on-one with the keeper. It looked like it might just lack a little bit of pace, and that made it more difficult for Suckley. Didn't matter. Suckley on the edge of the D just clipped it brilliantly, right-footed across the goalie and inside the far post. An excellent goal for Ava Suckley. Wrexham's first goal of the season at last. And although there was a moment of danger for us soon afterwards, when Thomas clipped the ball over a defender and swung the ball to the far post, Hosford lunging in, just couldn't quite reach it, inches out from the goal. We then really finished our half so strongly. Astonishingly, having had a lot of pressure in the first part of the half, we were really sorry to hear the whistle go, because we were putting pressure on Swansea. Their defence was looking shaky, and you felt that another goal was coming. Lily Jones fed the ball out to Widdenden on the right-hand side. She swept another wicked ball in to the far post. Thomas did really well. A crucial clearance under her own crossbar as two Wrexham strikers were bearing down for the tap-in. And then a couple of minutes later, once more, Wrexham causing problems. Lily Jones released by that ball down over the top of the wing back or full back position, hooked in an early cross. Suckley, lovely work, back to goal, really took it well, and then laid her off a perfect way to Widdenden, who from the edge of the D drove in a powerful shot. It was on target, but took a deflection and flew wide of the post. The second half started pretty well for Wrexham. Suckley, in the opening stage of the second half, was just phenomenal. She was absolutely terrific. She was battling away like anything and causing all sorts of problems down the left. She played a great ball to Widdenden on the left-hand side of the box, and she swept the ball in. It was a 2-on-1 break. She did the right thing, swept it in early, and Lily Jones, making a good run at the far post, struck the shot, but it was too close to the keeper, who was able to hold on to it. A couple of minutes later again, this time it's Lily Jones playing that pass down the channel for Edgerton, who took on and beat the fullback Finch, pulled the ball into the box, and it was a nice looking cross. Suckley thought it was going to carry to her 6 yards out, and she was swinging her foot to volley it home, but a defender again managed to get ahead to it and head it clear. Fuller drives it from 25 yards, and it just skims the bar. Unlucky for her. I said Swansea's defence looked at 6s and 7s, looked vulnerable. I'm standing by that, but I will make a little condition. Nia Jones and Jess Williams, the two centre-backs, made a hell of a lot of brilliant last-ditch tackles and interceptions, and there's one phenomenal one in added time, which I'll get to in a moment. It was structurally that they were a bit of a mess, and there were mistakes being made as well, often because we were forcing them, but it was looking good. We were winning the ball high up in Swansea's half and looking promising, but then the game just shifted a little bit. They've got quality, and well, I'm afraid that it started to show. Stacey John Davis, the good ball to Hosford, who looked to be one-on-one. Rebecca Pritchard with a brilliant sliding tackle, came from nowhere, amazing challenge to stop her from scoring. And then moments later, a good ball in, and then there was John Davis in space around the corner of the 6-yard box on the left-hand side, but a poor volley went over. And here's the problem. They're carving out really good quality chances, even when we're on top of them. And so we can then concede. You know, they've got the quality to do that. Although I've got to say, the key second goal, coming in the 67th minute, had more than an air of controversy about it for me. Corner, Hosford swings it into the far post. Craven decides early she's coming for it. It's pretty close to goal, but she's having to backpedal. And Williams gets up behind her and heads it into the net. Now, it's either a foul or a mistake by the keeper. I've got to be honest and say, live, watching it and looking at the live replay of it, it looked like a mistake by the keeper. Looking at some of the other angles, the more I looked at it, it felt to me like Williams had jumped early and then brought her arm down on the sort of either the side of Craven's head and then her shoulder, or just straight down onto her shoulder. That's a foul. That's a foul. Plus, she needed treatment to the back of her head, it seemed. And the way the rules are interpreted these days, if you smack someone in the back of the head, but deliberate or not, it's a foul. So I think Wrexham were very unlucky on this one. We didn't complain much, and we didn't get the shout. I wonder if we need to be a bit more hard-nosed, because Swansea last season and this perfectly happy to have a right pop at the referee. Maybe we should as well. But yeah, the goal stood, and it felt for a bit like we could really cave in. Pender on the edge of the area helped the ball out, and Stacey John Davis hit the most fantastic strike from about 10 yards out, which scraped the bar. It was a beautiful contact. Steve Dale's good at making substitutions that can alter the pace of the game, and he started to make changes. Straight swaps, actually, he was going for this time. Gibbard came on for Clark in midfield. Lightfoot came on for Cara Jones on the left-hand side with just over a quarter of an hour left. And almost immediately, they could have got their third goal, Swansea. Hosford skillfully flicking the ball over sharp, and in a left channel, driving the ball across the face of goal that went just wide. And in the 78th minute, they did get what really looked to be the killer Free kick in midfield. Chivers stood it into the edge of the 6-yard box. I think you've got to look at Craven's decision making here. Maybe understandable after what happened with the second goal, her getting clattered, but the ball's dropping on the edge of the 6-yard box. And I think the keeper has to come and do something, I think, as she didn't. Wrexham were defending under the bar, and Katie Sharp headed it into her own net. I don't think you can put blame on her. She's heading towards goal. She knows she's got to get something on it, or it's probably going to go straight in. And in getting something on it, she's diverted into the net. I don't think you can blame her for that at all. We responded immediately by making structural changes. The shape stayed the same, but the personnel was shuffled around as Brooke Cairns came in to replace Erin Lovett. And it just gave us a bit more of an attacking look in that solid midfield that I was describing, with Fuller dropping into the back three. And we had more attacking plays, and it worked. We started to get back into the game. Another ball down that channel, Liddenden chipping it neatly down the right channel. Cairns with a breakaway, it's 2-on-1. Probably should have squared it for Suckley, went for goal instead and put it off target, trying to aim at the near post. Then Rosie Hughes came on for Karen Allen, who had been, as ever, taking the right battering for the team. We went into kitchen sink throwing mode, and it worked because we really rattled Swansea. 3 minutes left. They had their last real chance of the game. Hosford receiving a long ball and driving a shot off Sharp, which Craven was quick to get down and push around the post. But then, the 90th minute, it all really started kicking off, with the excellent crowd really getting behind their team. Sharp knocking a long ball forwards. Hughes racing through the middle, too quick for the centre-backs. Manages to get there one-on-one with the keeper. Or so it seemed, but Nia Jones comes from nowhere and manages to slide in and put it behind for a corner. A superb saving tackle, but it's only a temporary respite. Lily Jones sweeps a great ball in. Rosie Hughes has lost her marker and heads in her first goal of the season. It's 3-2. The ref signals 6 minutes of added time, and Wrexham's tails are really up. We went at it, and in the second minute of added time, another of those cruel incidents that seems to happen against the big teams in the Adran Premier. It was a remarkable, again, incident. Wrexham knocking it long, and Hughes looking to get on the end of it. Nia Jones gets contact. It bounces back towards the keeper. Hughes is chasing it. It's keeper's ball, but she doesn't come out and attack it. And that allows Hughes to try and get there. Nia Jones manages to recover, and the keeper comes and tries to kick it, having not just come for it and claimed it, misses it. Hughes looks to have a complete open goal to slot in, and then from absolutely nowhere, Nia Jones slides in, having made the recovering run, and slides it behind for a corner. Unbelievable. We kept piling it on. We couldn't get the equaliser. It was cruel. In torrential rain, battling under those floodlights. Again, the Wrexham women's team did superbly well against one of the big two, but again, got no reward. If you have a look at the individual performances, well, obviously Lizzie Craven will be I think, disappointed with those last two goals, although I can't help thinking that if the second one was given as a foul, would the third one have happened? I think that decision and injury must surely have been in their mind when that free kick came into the box. The back three, well, Karen Allen, she was back, and she was, at her very best. Tremendous performance, battling away, fighting against the Swansea strikers. We often left the back three a little bit exposed as we tried to get at them, and Allen made tackle and header after tackle after header. Superb stuff from her. Katie Sharp as well, I thought, had a good game. She, didn't enjoy it so much as I think of Britton Ferry, but looked much more solid, and again, we made some important challenges and blocks. I thought Erin Lovett did really well. I know she got subbed, as did Allen. Allen was getting knocked around a bit, to be honest. Lovett, I think it was just tactical to get as many attacking players on the pitch, but I thought Lovett did really well. Again, typically combative, staying back in that left side of the centre-back position, but using the ball intelligently. And wing backs, again, Cara Jones has had a little bit of a quiet time on the left-hand side. He's just not quite got going, I think, in the season. On the other side, Rebecca Pritchard looked terrific, and she defended so well. She made that crazy tackle on Hosford, and she carried the ball forwards well, typically. I thought it was a really good performance. I said in the commentary that she was quietly excellent, and I would stand by that, absolutely. In the midfield box, Clark and Fuller were the deeper players. Fuller again, her intelligence in using the ball was obvious, and she had that good long range shot as well. Clark looks more like a midfielder than a centre back to me. I think she played first two games as centre back, so we got so many defenders that injured, of course. Um, and I thought I liked the way she played in midfield. She was solid on the ball. She moved the ball on quickly, good weight of the pass, accurate passing, was strong in the challenge. And yeah, I think we saw a bit more of the real Nat Clark there than having to drop off and play centre back. I was impressed by it. The two players at the front of the box in midfield, Suckley and Lily Jones, were terrific. Suckley really was a threat throughout, was always popping up in good positions, was taking players on. Lily Jones was driving the game forwards and playing as great balls over the top of players who were on to. They really were terrific, the way they stood out. And then Idendon up front, what an impressive first start. She was a handful for the centre-backs. Really good movement. Didn't quite get her finishes right, but she had a nice touch as well. She's good in the air. Yeah, that was a lot of good performances in there. Player of the match, I think it's between Lily Jones and Ava Suckley. I think I'd go Suckley, just about. But the two of them were extremely good. It was a great performance. We've put in two great performances now out of three this season. But we've got no points. That is a concern. We need to get cracking. Aberystwyth next weekend's important. They've had a horrible start to the season. We can't afford to show mercy. We've got to go for it. But it was another great heroic defeat, I'm afraid, with the final score: Wrexham 2, Swansea City 3. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.